back to another 8 grand order video. So today we'll be continuing with the LB7. So yeah, let's get it started. Last time we did one node of the second section. So yeah, let's continue from where we left off. Last time we met with Olga Marie and she had lost her memory. We still don't know anything about what's happening in this Lostbelt, and we met with a dude in blonde, which I know his name, but I'll avoid it till we actually get his name and story. So yeah, let's continue. Golden Sea of Trees, Section 2, Node. Whoa, you can smell the plant life everywhere. It's real South American rainforest. There is sky and wind and sun, everything, and it's hot too. I'd be sweating buckets if I were human. I was human. Look, wait, over here. I've never seen a flower like this. Is this an agave or something? What a funny looking plant. Is something wrong? Not especially. No. This place just feels familiar. I must have already known about it. So I was just thinking about what could have happened to me to make me forget it. Makes sense, right? But never mind that. Now I know if I see something I knew from before, I can remember it. So I shouldn't take long before I'm back to my old self, right? Anyway, I'm not impressed. Are you sure you can survive with that mindset? I'm detecting creatures moving this way. Their brain waves suggest violence. Furious animals, probably. Are you going to be okay? Marine, get behind me. Hmm. Okay. What are you doing? Was something supposed to happen? Alright, we gave our command spells to the mysterious dude that was in the foggy area. Hmm. Alright. Yep. I don't have any command spells. Oh, okay. Huh? Oh, nice save, Marie. You saved me. Oh, thanks. That was so cool. I think I'm in love. You're in love with me? You think I'm cool? I see. Then I suppose you're going to continue being impressed because these things are no threat to me whatsoever. No matter how different life forms may be or how incapable their mutual goals. I'm still terribly rude to communicate with your fist rather than your words. It looks like you people need to be taught a lesson in diplomacy. Go on, eh, go on then. Come at me. Oh yeah, we can use her. Yep, I completely forgot that it was this early. Let's go with the story one. Yeah. Okay. Immune to sleep and will not be selected for sacrifice or ending of dream. Ending of Dream is the Oberon's third skill and sacrifice Chang'e. Okay. Planet Olga Marie. Noble Phantasm Error. Okay. Class skills increase your debuff resistance magic resistance so it's probably like 12% or something. I'm not sure, but okay. Crit strength, death resistance, and mental debuff. Station guard for humanity. Slightly increase quick effectiveness, arts and buster. Gravity manipulation, increase buster effectiveness and extra card effectiveness. Okay. So reduce skill cooldown by 2 for yourself. Apply a state where command spells become command cards become unselectable for all allies. No effect when conservant on field. Excluding yourself. Okay. Gain C stars. Inflict NP seal. Decrease HP recovery amount. Okay. Ultimate U. What was the first name? Ultimate Manifest EX. Okay. So, usable only when your NP gauge is 100% or higher. Set NP gauge to 0% for yourself. Apply Ignore Invincible. Increase Buster card effectiveness, crit strength, and NP gain for all allies. Okay. Ignore Invincible, Buster, and crit strength are all allies. Okay. And inflict burn on all enemies, set NP gauge to maximum and randomly decrease HP. Okay. Okay, 300%. Okay.
ちゃんと指導して。あのあたりね。ちゃんと指導して。あのあたりね。ちゃんと指導して。あのあたり。ちゃんと指導して。あのあたりちゃんと指導して。
She has an AoE attack, right? Yep, AoE Buster and sorry. She was the first one to have AoE attacks, right? Yeah, it just directly decreases the gauge to 0, even if we have about 100.
拍手は必要ないわ。私への信頼と尊敬は今後の行動で示しなさい。
Okay, applause is not necessary. And she said something else. I didn't catch all that. Okay, so let's see. Golden Sea of Praise. Okay. So they ran off without so much as an apology, huh? Those primitive creatures must be an enemy faction. Wow. That was amazing. Well, of course. Who do you think I am anyway? I am you, Olga Marie, the future ruler of Earth. Something like this is barely a typo on a document. Once I've founded them, I can erase them with just one finger. So they are common, but you never really think much about them. What a weirdly reliable analogy. Is that, is it? It just popped out of my mouth. I don't remember them, but maybe whatever education material I had to learn about Earth weren't the best. Hmm. Okay. Anyways, we should get going before more shows up. Oh yeah, good thing we. It's dangerous to stay in same spot. Plus, there could be a bunch of more of them nearby. Not that any number of them would make much difference to me. I suppose that's not true for you too. Getting shot would hurt you. I swear I can't, for the life of me, figure out why the creature of this planet evolved like that. It's so inconvenient. Thanks for worrying about us. Okay. Okay, I'll go patrol our surroundings. I can't fight like the captain, but I'm pretty good lookout. He's going to patrol. I thought he was just going to keep hiding behind me. Right person for the right job, I guess. Sounds boring, at least from the perspective of a being from outer space like me. I've never heard of such a weak creature not just letting the stronger one handle everything. Are you like that too? Since you didn't fight in the battle, are you an explorer or something? It hardly seems like your first battle since you knew to run behind a tree to get a safe vantage point. But have you all have you really been in many battles with that fragile vessel and so few years in operation? What are you guys doing? Come on. I found a big plant over that way. I think it's food. Let's go check out. I bet it's yummy. Okay. Oh, what's wrong? Uh-oh. Are those jaguar guys coming back? No, you just grabbed my hand out of nowhere, but earlier you were emitting red wavelengths at me. Red wavelengths, red wavelengths mean weariness, fear, but now it's suddenly blue for conversational. And for some reason, Ved was sending yellow wavelengths my way for joy and friendliness right from the start, even. Well, you are still kind of scary, but now I know I don't have to be afraid of you. Thanks again for helping us. Sorry to Sion and others for saying this, but I'll definitely vote for you. Vote for president of Earth. Vote you for president. What did you say? I helped you out a little bit, and now you're willing to support me. Is this a trap of some kind, or are your Earthlings actually that this easy? She doesn't look just like the director. She's just like her. Easy, huh? You are the easy one. Hmm? Huh? What's that? Hmm, that wasn't me. Maybe it's more of those guys we just saw. I thought they'd come back. You could just tell they are tenacious as all have. But with you around, I don't have to be scared. So, what you are going to do? Talk it out with them this time? If it goes well, I bet you could gain more supporters. Huh? I see. You are starting to get me, child. Right, I didn't come here to eradicate you primates. I didn't have that kind of time. I heard a cry of distress coming from this planet, so I came here to make things better. Okay, so we already knew about that. The the experiment. What was the I forgot the name that they gave it. Test subject E. Yeah, test subject E gave the distress signal, and that's why the bleached earth happened and she arrived here. Okay. So no matter how ferocious or belligerent or indiscriminate those creatures may be, I'm going to start by talking to dinosaur. And I've changed my mind. I already knew about the dinosaurs because it was pretty hard to avoid, and also it was not that easy to forget about dinosaurs appearing in the story. So yeah, okay.
敵味方いいわまとめてかかってきなさい
She just said enemy ally. If you want to come at me with everything you have got. Think that what she said. Not 100% sure, but
滑るものであるあもう 演
yeah,
説の時来たわね
she doesn't have global phantasm, so I can just use that skill.
ギャラクシー身の程を知れウルトラバースト
Ultra.
このこのこの
Okay, she's level 100.
あの辺りね
Didn't
ちゃんとしろ
notice that.
キラッキラにしてあげる当てるわ当たってはははは
Those are. Okay. I can't wait her to be fully playable servant. Okay. Yeah, dinosaur. Forget it. I hate those guys. I hate those things. Retreat. Retreat. No way. I didn't know you were this scared of reptiles. Madam President, you lost my vote. Come on. Everyone's afraid of something, right? Wait, get over here and do something. You must have some kind of trick up your sleeve, didn't you? Don't you? I wish I could, but I've got nothing. Okay. Who showed up now? Even if this is your first time encountering them, I can't believe you couldn't get rid of a few unthinking dinos. Dr. Roman, or probably Goisha. The Guardian is what his title is. Yeah, we haven't confirmed who he is, but it's probably the remains of Goisha, because Dr. Roman was completely eradicated and removed from the throne of heroes because he used his true noble phantasm, right? Okay, so yeah, let's continue. You're supposed to be the last master of humanity. What a pitiful showing. Or maybe you have led the sixth Lostbelt you dealt. You have led this last six Lostbelt you dealt with go to your head. Such foolishness, such, such foolishness would certainly be on brand for you. You. Who's that? Do you know him? Wait. Yeah, that's Dr. Romani Ackerman. Or at least someone claiming to be him. Will we get the answers in this chapter? Hopefully. Um, okay. You are just claiming to be Romani Ackerman. It's true. So for the moment, I'll use that name. Humans often say it's what on the inside that counts. Name, even a false one, is just a convenient address. I'm not who I appear to be, so I see no issue using whatever name I chose. Maybe, but I do. I don't want you using that name unless you're willing to live up to it. I see. Our opinions would seem to differ greatly on the matter. Still as stubborn as ever, huh? I know you witnessed Britain's end and that you reached the tips of that massive singularity. I'm also fairly certain that you have not sustained any fatal injuries thus far. So why are you not summoning servants? Have you endured some kind of mental trauma? It can't be as it can't be a problematic. It can't be a problem with your mystic code, or you wouldn't be able to survive in this subterranean world at all. Can I really trust him? Trying to hide your right hand? You didn't even mean to do that, did you? I see your command spells are gone. So you gave away your very ability to function as a master. I can't believe it. Wade, you are no longer a master. You'll never be able to call a servant as you are. If you want to survive, you'll need to alter your tactics. Wait, what? You have no business with me as you are now. Neither do I have any with you. Don't you want to see Mash? So you have traded your offensive capabilities for a new capacity to hit where it hurts. Go to the mountain south of here and look for one that resembles a giant horn. You'll find Mash Kyrielite in the cavern there. Just like the other servants there, she fell out of the storm border in an attempt to rescue you. Holmes, the disciple may be gone now, but your job remains the same. I'm conflicted as to where I should say this, but if humankind actually succeeds in exercising all seven lost spirits, then and only then will I recognize you as my enemies. I don't expect that to happen, however. You are up against David Semvoid, and defeating Ord is simply beyond your means. Yeah, I see. So that was Dr. Roman, or at least the guy who looks just like him. I'm sorry, we have informed about the doctor in Kaldia's database, so I didn't really know how to react. What about you? Uh, you seemed like you were kind of freezing up. I have no opinion of him at all. Is he even living being? He gave off no wavelengths at all and completely ignored me. It seems like he knew who you were though. So she doesn't know who the doctor is. I figured as much. Yeah. How could he? He doesn't so much as say my name. Anyways, he said we should go to the mountain all the way over there. Right? I guess we may as well do that. Oh yeah, that's right. He said Marsh was there. Come on, let's go with. The sooner we meet up, the sooner we can reform Team Kaldia. Team Kaldia. So she remembers Kaldia. Okay. Jagged Mountain. We still don't know what the red area is. There is no mention of anything of the map yet. Oh man, I'm so tired. This should be the cabin we're looking for, right? I don't mind walking, but what's with all the guys with guns? I've lost track of how many times they have attacked us along the way. Think they work for this Lost Spirits King? That would make since they probably see Caldia as problem to be dealt with. It's too soon to say for sure. Hey, what's that word you have been throwing around me? You are Ved, right? And you are Marine, right? So who's Caldia? And there another is there another of you out there? I'm sorry, but I'll have to af- tell you that after things have calmed down for a moment. That I'll have to wait until later. Yeah. Okay. Oh, a bit. Whoa, it's so nice and cool in here. And there is light and dusk. This must be a peaceful, civilized human living space. I didn't, I didn't see any guns around here at all. I bet whoever lives here is really kind and gentle. Oh, I see. We have new visitors. Are you, are you the one from Caldia Romani told me about? Hmm? Did you guys hear that? It sounded like it came from the wall. Did I surprise you? My apologies. I'll turn off my camouflage now. I'll find I find I do my best thinking when I'm alone, so I sometimes end up blending into the background. Sorry about that. Talking dinosaurs. What? A dinosaur hill. Oh, am I the first dinos you have met then? Dinos. Definitely a dinosaur. Please calm down. Personal of proper human history. You are you are what's called a servant, yes? My name is Teppu. I'm Dinos living out a quiet retirement here in this cave. My species may look different from yours, but we are still the prime species in this world capable of learning, growing, and retaining a shared pool of knowledge. This is to say, we are this world's dominant species. It's humanity, if you will. And as a rule, we don't eat other intelligent life forms. We are in fact herbivores. Actually, as so long as we have water and sunlight, we don't even need to eat plants. So, do they photosynthesize? Okay. So please rest assured that I would never try to eat you to satisfy my nutritional needs. Say, how about a drink? Mictlan has been very hot lately, so I assume you need to hydrate. That's okay. We'll be on our way and get out of your feathers. Hey Tippu, I finished fetching water from the underground spring. What should I do next? Want me to polish those weird bronze statues up on the mountains? I don't think those are statues, Habitat. I think they are part of an observatory. And notice they have some measuring instrument inside carved to mark degrees of angle to make it easier to get exact reading on the position of the star. Mashu Sen, I'm so glad to see you again, Mr. Master Ved. I knew from my last communication with the border that you were alright, but I didn't think I'd see you again so this soon. I'm so glad you're okay. Same here. I'm glad I found you so soon. Yep. So, is that Caldia? She doesn't look like I imagined she would. Oh well, never mind that. Hello, Caldia. I am you, Olga Marie. I'm the kind-hearted alien who brought Ved all the way here. Olga Marie, director? It's you, Olga Marie, not Olga Marie. That's so stupid. You could at least be respectful enough to use my full name. Make sure you don't follow this guy's example and just call me you or whatever. Okay, okay, I've calmed down. I'm so sorry you had to see that. It's not your fault, Marsh. Anyone would be fl- flummoxed, flummoxed under these circumstances. I mean, that's the foreign word. Nothing. The point is that I didn't understand what's happening right now. So you are suffering from memory loss and can only remember your name and objective, right? Thank, thank you so much for taking your time to help Senpai and Marine, especially given all you are dealing with. Good. You should be. If I didn't, if I hadn't been there, these guys would be. On second thought, something tells me that maybe they would still be alive. why are you, why are you shrugging me? That's the foreign god, right? Please stop habit or don't say that name for now. I knew you'd get it, Marsh. Yep. I'd like to hear more about you, Tippu. Would you tell us more about this world too? You want to hear more from me? Well, as you can probably guess, I've been living away from the city for a while, but I'm not up to date with current affairs. But if you are okay with that, I'm happy to tell you what I know, what I do know. With I met someone who told me about the world of proper human history. He said it's the strongest, most objectively correct history to ever exist. I also know that in your world, our world here is called a Lostbelt. That means this is impossible world which should never have existed and was supposed to be pruned away long time ago. Long ago. What about Kalia? Did he any tell you about that too? Why yes, in fact that's how he introduced himself. It was a very enlightening conversation. Proper human history and lost belts. A history where history meant to remain and a history meant to disappear. I believe I understand the relationship between the two. So I want to be clear about something upfront. I do not see you Caldians as enemy. You are our guests. As far as I am concerned, you are neither invaders here to threaten our livelihoods, nor conquerors conquerors bent on taking our world for yourselves. You are friends from another world here to do what you must. Really, but we came here to erase this world, yes? No need to worry. Dianos, dinos, dianos, okay, dinos do not care. This may not be the see. This may not be the case where you came from, but here, world inevitably come to an end at some point. We are not concerned about how that happens, and therefore have no reason to see you as enemies. Really, but if the world disappears, then so would so would I. Yes, that's true, but so what? I would certainly put up a fight if my disappearance would result in the disappearance of the world as well. But fortunately, I'm quite certain that isn't the case. If anything, I am more worried about all of you. If you die, your world dies with you, no? Quite a different situation than the one we face. So simply as one person to another, be support I cannot but support your endeavor. And down to the road, I urge you to stay strong and make whatever choice you must do without shame or fear. I can't believe how understanding he is. Humanity, huh? I don't know. You are nothing like what I expect when I come here. You said your species is called dinos. You seem far more evolved than Wade and his friends here, but your voice is just so grating. How how are we able to converse when your vocal frequency is completely different? That would be thanks to Mila. that is the very world assisting our con- connotation. Connotation. Okay. Hmm. Some time ago, a being from a new culture was introduced into our world by a visitor known as a crypter. Mala analyzed his language and cognitive standards and tuned things so that we could communicate. If you know, if you thought of this world as being covered in its entirety by an automatic translation device, you wouldn't be too far off from the mark. Off the mark. Okay. Huh. Okay. I guess that makes sense. I mean, your vocal cords are really different from ours. So, who is this Mala person? They must be pretty amazing to be able to do something like that. Oh, Mala is not a person. They are alive though. Hmm. How do I put this? Mala is, you might call it goodwill in your word. It is the sentiment meant to keep your world running smoothly. So, is he talking about the Gaia, the planet's own will? Could be. Okay. They serve as both the foundation and grading principle of this subterranean world, Mikla. Subterranean world? Yes, as you heard, as hard as it is to believe, this Lost Belt is actually a massive hollow underground world. And what's more, it's not all on a single flat plane. It's Agartha, like Agartha was. It's essentially an enormous cylindrical shaft with gravity working along its sides. It's actually very similar in structure to a space colony, though, without the constant rotation. We don't understand how the gravity works or where the sunlight, water, and air are coming from. But perhaps the most unbelievable fact is that, as far as I can tell, this world occupies about 1 million square kilometers. We know it to be at least 1,000 kilometers deep, even though that shouldn't be possible geologically. But how, I thought, wait, isn't the Earth's crust? Right, as of 2019, the record of the deepest hole human have ever dug is 12 kilometers. What's more, the stratum on the Earth's surface where humankind exists is only around 40 kilometers deep, and the stratum below it is the Earth's mantle, which means that this world's outside is a world of rock and microorganism. There could even be magma erupting here. Oh, it sounds as though proper human history's environment and this Lost Bell's environment are indeed very different. This world, the world we Dinos known, is divided into nine stars. Its name is Maklan. The name is fairly recent one though. I wish the Dinos could claim credit for it, but I'm afraid it originated with Lu- Lizcali, Lizcali, the Oklahoma leader. I've heard something like that before. No, I have no idea what that is. Is an Osalomech in its plural form means jaguar in Nahuli, a language used in Central America. I do not know that. Okay. There exists a group of warriors who wore Wism- vestments evocative of a jaguar, most notably their helmets from proper human history's Aztec civilization. Jaguars were said to be associated with Tezcatlipoca, the Aztec god of war and terrifying elements said to live in the rainforest. So, is that what those guys were? The ones with guns and jaguar masks who kept attacking us? Yep. So, those guys were the. Okay. So, Oxalotl, that word is going to be used a lot more, so I'll just look up the pronunciation. Oclotl. Okay. Ocelotl. Okay. Hmm. Sure. Okay. Hmm. Uh, so I've already encountered them. I can't believe they have already made it this far. The Os- Ocelomeh appeared alongside the cryptor. They soon began hunting dinos for sport, though they called it war. I hear they even built a major city on the fifth stratum. I believe Lazgli, Laz, Lizkali, Lizkali, the Oslomeh's leader, wants to wipe out every last dinos. Countless dinos have already lost their lives at the Oslomeh's hand. Some of them have been tied up and left to bleed out or driven to feral madness by poison. Regardless, there aren't many dinos like me still living out in the wilds anymore. You know, come to think of it, the Oslomah look a lot like you all of you. So this their weapon are called guns. I can tell you those were quite a shock to us. Yeah, they came here with the cryptor. Does that mean they are also human just like us? Cryptor. Wow, those guys are even worse than I thought. But why would they do something like that? Do they have turf war or something in Maklan too? Maklan. It is less of a turf war than it is a matter of resource gathering. They are looking to profit from of us. They strip us of our meat, process our bones, and trade our hearts as were precious. They were precious jewels. Mila would never allow such a thing, but they have been clever enough to avoid drawing its attention. That is what the Oslo are organized criminals. How is that any different from the mafia? This jungle's even scarier than I thought. That does sound like criminal organization, and if that's all true, everyone on the border could be in danger. They might even go. Yep, they definitely will go after the border. Right, we should try to get to the border as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, we lost contact with them about 4 hours ago. One of the last things Sion told us was that the ship was crippled and it would take the crew days to get comms back online. Thank goodness everyone is okay at least. Yep. Can I talk now? I sure hope so. Now that we are all together, we should get moving. The storm border crashed south of us. I think it's about 300 kilometers from here. I'm not sure how long it will take us to go so far, but I do know we have no time to waste. I was too it was too dangerous for Marsh and me to try and make the journey alone, but we'll be fine now that you are here. If those ocelotl guy guys attack us. You should just summon servants to deal with them. And worst case scenario, we can use your magical energy to fire the black barrel. Yeah, about that. Seriously, you can't summon servants anymore. I see, that explains something. I didn't even realize. I'm sorry, I'm such a useless servant. It's okay, right now we should head for the storm border. The storm border? You mean the flying boulder that fell from the sky wall? It landed over past Chiklen Itza. Itza. Chiklen Itza. You'll need to cross. Okay, Tal. Thal. Thal. Kia. To reach it. I can't really recommend that though, since you just arrived. Okay. Tepu, may I ask you what you're doing? Why I'm getting dressed up? I haven't been outside in quite some time after all. You are going to. You are going no matter what I tell you, yes? Then you'll need a guide. Allow me to formally introduce. I'm Tepu, a stargazer. I think fate may have brought us together. Yep. I'll be your guide in Maklan, the golden sea of trees. Nice. Okay. Oh, that was cool. Okay. Cornfield. Sun is in the middle of the tube. Ah, it's so hot. I can't believe how much hotter it's outside the cave. What's the temperature anyway? 58 degrees Celsius? That's like 136 Fahrenheit. Not even deserts get that hot. It's almost unbearable for a man of the sea. True, this is much more hotter than I was expecting. At least it's not intoler- intolerable as long as we are in shade. Master, is your mystic code thermal regulation working properly? Uh, I'm fine. It's no worse than being at a barbecue. Also, Marsha's old mystic code is back on. Old spirit origin. Instead of the Ortonax. Okay. The sun at the third stratum right now, so it's going to stay this hot for some time. But there is no need to take reckless risk. It will cool once the sun gets further away. Why don't we take a short break here? I understand you are in a hurry, so you do still need the occasional rest. I think I'll do just that then. I think that's a good idea too. That's a good idea too. We have been traveling for about 2 hours, so let's take 15-minute break. Got it. I'll go fetch some water then. Don't worry. I can tell that there is a river nearby. Marine's got a lot of spirit for being such a whiner. Kinda gets the sense he wants to make up for not being much of a fighter by finding other ways to be useful. Hey Mash, how about a little magical energy boost? I'm gonna go with him to help out in case anything happens. I'm relieved to see those two are still the same, even in this lost world. I am hope that's true for us as well. The jungle. quite a lot of information here. Not bad. Harsh but pleasantly cool temperature, very humid, high atmospheric pressure, lots of smell. It's like a flood of life. So many colors and waves, both on the micro and macro scales. I concentrate on the sensation. All this color starts to feel nauseatingly vivid. Do you know what I mean? I really feel like something's coming up my throat. Bleh. Oh wow, you really weren't kidding. You're vomiting up rainbows, Director Olga Marie. Maybe you should turn down your sensor until you're used to this environment. Quit rubbing my back, and I told you it's not my name. Still, I think that might be a good advice. Lowering the sensitivity of my sensor is probably the way to go here. Your name's Mashkirielite, right? Are you human too? Your body's structure is very different from Ved's. I am, but I'm also demi-servant, so my body is mixture of human and servant. It makes me a lot stronger than I may look. So if you need someone to do heavy manual labor, Director, you Olga Marie, please don't hesitate to ask me. Demi-servant, huh? Right, of course, one of those. I know what those are. She clearly has no clue. Want me to explain? No, I told you. I totally know what they are. Oh, hello in the chat, Daniel Home. Sorry, I just saw that. Okay. So, anyways, let's. No, I totally know what they are. They are one of Earth's local specialities, right? I remember at least learning the words. You know, I don't have any problem with you personally, but demi-servant, something about those words rankles me. Why don't you think of a different one? Hmm. Oh, are you guys friends now? Sorry for ruining the moment. But I ran into some nasty dinosaurs and they followed me here. Priz, Mush, help me. Do you know this dinos, Tipu? Their brains have anthropomorphed beyond repair. They are neither living nor dead any longer. They are akin to tumors in the jungle. Each is a mindless predator who exists only to convert whatever animal they find into energy. There is no reasoning with them. Our only choice is to run away or shut them down with force. Then I guess there is no other way. I'm really surprised you are not freaking out here, Tim. Oh, I absolutely am. I've never been in combat before. I came to serve as your guide because I was worried about you, but to be honest, I'm starting to regret that decision. Oops. You're even more upbeat about this than I thought. But if that's what you're worried about, please don't be. On my honor as a shielder, I won't let even one of those creatures pass me. Awaiting your orders, Master. Preparing for our first battle in this Lostbelt. Okay, so she puts up her ordnance. In this quest, up to 2 servants. Okay, my servant Habiterot and Mashu with yeah. Okay.
敵味方いいわまとめてかかってきなさい
Okay. So I'll just do this.
ちゃんと指導して This. いい感じ This. して This. いい感じ This. ちゃんと指導して This. いい感じ This. して 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 This これは君に待つ夢の生産。どれほど辛い別れでも輝くものはどうも顔を上げて。
Okay. So,
この星を演説の時、この星を滑るものである。
okay, so she just removes. It's like the CL skill. Okay.
あのあたりね、ちゃんと指導して。知っているかしら。じゃあ身の程を知れ。
Okay.
ウルトラバースト。このあのあたりね。あ、もう前にじゅわ。
Okay, she is not super effective on his.
この戦闘後はハベニャンのケアよろしく。褒める、撫でる、いたわる、はぐる、なんでもいいよ。
Okay. So yeah. What are those? It's a cornfield, right? Alright, a really big one too. Yeah. Whoa, those are huge. Each stalk must be at least 2 meters tall. Are these edible, Tipu? You don't just use them for fuel, right? Not at all. Set Sentinel or corn in your language is the only food that we dinos eat simply because we love it. Now, what's this about using it for fuel, Marine? What does proper human history use corn for? Oh, I know what you are talking about. Ethanol, right? A kind of biofuel made from organic materials. I thought grains were primary source of nutrition for primitive beings like you, no? So you just use them for fuel instead of consuming them yourself as a part of the natural cycle. No, not exactly. We grow different crops for different purposes. Some corn is selectively bred to maximize flavor and nutrition, while other corn is optimized for producing ethanol. Some concerns have been raised about the gases produced by growing ethanol corn and their impact on climate change. But these kinds of crops are still shining example of human integrity. So, so your civilization must destroy its environment to advance. I understand that the evolution of a species often becomes sort of a race to see how far they can get before they devour their own planet. By the by the way, things are getting right. Things by the way, but the way things are going now, you Earthlings don't have a chance. All the more reason you need a strong leader like me. Hey, it's nice that the president's in a good mood and all, but wait, have you noticed? We left the cave about 6 hours ago. The sun was just rising, right? So don't you think it's weird that it doesn't seem any closer to setting yet? Yeah, I think it's been early afternoon for half a day now. I don't think we should expect there to be a night here. Mithlan is entirely enclosed and folded on its own like a giant underground cube of sorts. So the sun here will never sink below the horizon. Yeah, sun probably goes back and forth through the tube, or the tube goes back and forth around the sun. Hmm. It's not. That's not to suggest the sun actually sinks in our world either, but you know what I mean. Hmm. But the sun here has definitely been moving south. Well, I suppose further away might be more accurate. At this rate, it's going. Uh, at the rate it's going now, the sun should dim and give way to night in about 5 hours. Since the cavern obviously can't rotate the sun, must be only celestial body moving down here. I have no idea how it's being controlled though. They, this is all way beyond human technology of the 21st century. Let's see what Tepo can tell us. More mysterious questions to ask Tepo, I guess. Tepo. Oh, you rang? My apologies. I promised to serve as your guide, but I have so enjoyed talking with Marine that I completely neglected my own duties. Now, what would you like to know? Would I be correct to assume you have questions partaking to Maklan's structure, the working of a sun? Our ecosystem life is in the city here, the cryptor and the cornfields. Yes, that's right. We'd really appreciate if you could tell us about all of that. What would you like to ask about first, Senpai? Maklan's structure. Maklan's structure. Very good. If you mean to reach the storm border, that's it's certainly the most important thing to know. Although Maklan is flatland jungle, it's actually divided into 9 separate stratas. We are currently in the first stratum. This is Tlalokhilan. Its ceiling, which leads to the surface, forms a steep cliff face. Okay. Next we have second stratum, the first boundary to the underworld. That first boundary of the underworld. That's Lalokhi, the red level. It is an endless river that is home to species of enormous iguanas. Okay. The third stratum is home to the golden city of Shikhan Itza. It is a vast and open plain field with fruits of all kinds. The fourth stratum and the second boundary of the underworld is Zaklikulu Atl, the white level. It is a sewing graveyard con- con- consisting, consisting of a valley of blades and wind. Okay. The fifth stratum, Tula, the lake of blood and birds, serve as a bloody vessel for the land itself. The sixth stratum and the third boundary of the underworld is Jojo Aoki. Jojo Aoki, the blue level. It is a land of galactic sand dunes and vacuum lightning gardens. If anyone knows how all the names are pronounced in this Lostbelt, I would appreciate if it's commented below. Yeah. So okay. The seventh stratum is Singing Ilhu. Ilhuhiha, Ilhuikha, Ikal, Ikal, home to the Mesutil, Mesutilan Observatory, the eighth stratum and the fourth boundary of the underworld is Yayauki, the Black Level. It consists of subterranean mountain range upon which the sun never shines. Okay, and the final we have the ninth stratum. It is the foot of the great Si- Sibar tree, the dreaded land of Jibalba. Jibalba? Jibalba. As you might expect, these stratas are all linked. In theory, anyone could cross freely between them. More particularly, though, the underworld's various boundaries are quite dangerous. The dead walk that realm, even for us dinos. It's considered too dangerous to risk venturing beyond the seventh stratum. For one thing, the eighth and ninth strata are both blanketed by deadly fog. This fog only recedes for 5 out of every 365 cycles during the period when the sun shuts down the rest and replenishes itself. The act of traveling to the ninth stratum during this period is called underworld pilgrimage, but no dinos has ever completed this successfully. Underworld pilgrimage, Jibalba. Of course, none of you have a reason to go to the ninth stratum, so this is all purely for reference. I believe the storm border crashed near the edge of the third stratum, near the entrance of the fourth. We should be able to reach it in 4 cycles, but first we'll need to cross a major checkpoint. That would be Tal Laluki, the red boundary of the underworld. It compromises of 2 stratums. It has become a terribly dangerous place to thanks to Tezcatlipoca, the god of war who accompanies the cryptor. The god of war who accompanies the cryptor. So that must be the servant David summoned. Yep. So he is Tezcatlipoca, the Aztec god of war, and sacrificed one of the strongest gods in proper human history's Aztec mythology. Yeah, Tezcatlipoca. He was the grand berserker that David summoned. David said he summoned the grand berserker in the fourth Lostbelt, if I remember correctly. I see. So, in proper human history, humankind is compromised of your species Homo sapiens. Countless nations spread across all 7 continents, and despite your many differences, you have developed all manner of cultures over the course of your history. I suppose if we dinos were to visit your world, we would be classified as reptiles. Your biosphere is limited to your planet's surface with no colonial expansions into outer space. The ocean. What's an ocean? Please elaborate. So, I see. So, your country. So, your continents are surrounded by large bodies of salt water and each has its own distinct ecosystem. I can only imagine how many different varieties of life must flourish in such an environment. Aquatic dinos. No, very few kinds of dinos evolved to live in water. Doing so enlarges our species' skeletal structure, which makes it more difficult to live on land. Dem- democratically, democracy and communicate commun democracy and communism. No, that's okay. I have for enough handle on your politics and social structure. Given the traits I've observed in all of you, I would guess that your research on various matter has been like st- stacking pebbles one atop the others. Despite lacking the ability to fly, you continue to explore. This is not confined solely to your planet, but also observe other celestial bodies as well. DNA, cells, elements, atoms. So if you are to understand the vastness of universe, you must first learn the laws which govern its smallest part. How delightful. I feel as though the corn kernels have fallen from my eyes. It seems the human of proper human history are like a cube that lands on a differently decorated side of every tumble it takes. Decorated side. Okay, so he's talking about the dice. Okay, he ended up pepping with us, pepping us with questions instead. Peppering. I can't. I still can't believe how quickly he grasped all this. Yeah, he's definitely a smart one. Are you taken aback, senpai? I understand. I felt that I felt the same way when I met Teppu back in the cave. You start off telling him one thing and then he immediately hits on 10 other things connected to it. Even if their concepts or laws he has never heard of. Genius doesn't even begin to cover him. His brain seems to work on entirely different level. I wonder if all dinos are like this. Hmm. I still don't know anything about dinos in general, but are you all alone, Tipu? Were you living in the cave by yourself because you were just too smart? You are talking about human who were isolated because they didn't fit in with those around them. In your parlance, outcasts. True, I moved to the wilderness of the first stardom because my way of thinking did not match other dinos. Most have no desire to learn because they have never heard to rely on their intelligence to compensate for the lack of physical prowess. Homo sapiens are short lived and easily harmed. To have any hope of surviving, you had to evolve in both body and mind. But we dinos never posed any threat here in Maklan, so the same wasn't true for us. As a result, we never experienced the same need to evolve. True, dinosaurs would be unstoppable if they were strong and smart. That reminds me of one of your explanations. Some someone being a babe in this woods. One of your expressions. Someone being a babe in the woods. Your digestive systems are simply incredible. We dinos could only dream of consuming such variety of foods. I assume you think nothing of your ability to break down the toxin in plants and absorb only their nutrients. But from my perspective, such a capacity is truly revolutionary. Imagine being able to consume so many different living things, so many kinds of plants as food. I'm so jealous. You think so? Now that you mention it, I guess human food culture is pretty unique. I wish Baker was here for this. Sometimes she sulks about being the weakest member of the series, so this will really make her day. Tapu, if you don't mind me asking, could you tell us more about dinos? We have never talked about any besides you, so Hmm. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Besides you, so very well. I'll tell you what I can about our ecosystem and how we got where we are now. With dinos are this lost bits primary. Hmm. This OST is the Stay Nights OST, if I remember correctly. Hmm. With dinos are this lost bits prime species or its equivalent of human. In your world, if you like, we are the dominant species tasked with running this world. A long, long time ago, well before Makla was created, our ancestors migrated here from the surface. These ancestors were the creatures you known as dinosaurs in proper human history. From what you have told me, Mash, I understand that there existed several types of dinosaurs. There were long-necked marine marine Paleosaurus, bird-like flying Pterosaurus, terrestrial tripods, and so on. Yes. Well, most dinos fall under the tripod category. That said, our creation was also shaped in many ways by Mala. So we do have a few of the Paleosaurus and Pel- Pesi- Pesio- Plesiosaur Plesiosaur varieties of dinos as well. Pero Petrosaurus are especially rare, but they do still exist to this day. Remember what I said about Outcast earlier? I, for instance, am ostracized from my herd because they took issue with my behavior. However, this dino's names and all. Okay. However, Pre- Prethio, Petrosaurus and Pel, Pel, Pelisaurus are essentially outcast from the day they were born. I remember you also said most dinosaurs were herbivores and that kind of carnivores were the minority. But all dinos are herbivorous. There are no carnivores. We are unable to break down the toxins in meat, meaning that eating it leads to pain, dis- diminished intelligence, and eventually death. That is what happened to the unintelligent dinos who attacked you earlier. Either they gave up their intelligence when they were on the verge of death, or they turned feral after Othello, Mech poisoned them. So that's what happened. These dinos were really scary, but I feel kind of bad for them now. I mean, dying painfully after being forced to eat meat they didn't want. They might as well be zombies. Why would the Oslomath do that to them? It's to do with their new teachings. You, you might call it all faith or perhaps religion. Now that I've met you, I understand the Oslomath are Homo sapiens, human, just like you. They appeared here in Maklan out of nowhere and quickly moved to expand their territories. One of the central aspects of their faith is offering up hearts of the strong to their gods. And since the dinos are the strongest life form in Maklan, they of course set their sights on us. They build a city, the fifth stardom, in the fifth stardom. There they tear the hearts from dinos. Now that you have been kind enough to now that you have been kind enough to share your knowledge with me, I have clearer understanding of the situation in Maklan. Two opposing factions are fighting a civil war here. One faction consists of dinos. Our capital is Shiklan Itza, the golden city ruled by the king of dinosaur and protected by the sun god Kukulkan. The other faction is the Oslome. Their capital is Mexico City, a city of death created by Tezcatlipoca, the new god of sacrifice, and by the cryptor of from the proper human history who brought him here. The storm border you see crossed an area between those two cities. So they are in the middle of the civil war that's happening. Okay, could it be where David is? So there is a god here in Mexico City. Hold on, I understand that the servant, the cryptor David summoned is divine spirit from proper human history. But you say there is also a god in the dino's capital, and Kukulkan is at that. What's so weird about that? Mush, haven't there been gods in other lost belts too? Yes, but it's different here. Kukulkan is a Mayan god of wind and water from proper human history. But the dinos have no connection to proper human history's mythology whatsoever. So it doesn't make any sense for a god to be here in Maklan. Oh wait, come to think of it, the name Maklan itself comes from underworld of Aztec mythology. But as I believe you, अरे, but as I believe you have said before, the mythology of your world has nothing in common with our own in this world. I understand your confusion, but the answer is quite simple. The very concept of sun god is also recent development. We were simply indifferent to such things until recently. In fact, until the cryptor's arrival, we rarely even conversed with words. So it was proper human history itself that passed on the concept of God. Prior to David Simvoid's arrival, there were no god of any kind in our world. But once Tezcatlipoca, a god of proper human history, was summoned here, many things took on new meaning. Things that simply existed before became special technically. I suppose it was an act of subsistence, subterranean, but no matter. My point is, it was the first time anyone in our world had ever heard a story. Hmm, it's a very interesting origin of where this world is born and how it changed. Last part of the section. Okay. I think I'll go to bed now. I learned a great deal today, so I'd like to make sure I've understood it all. Okay. And that's why Tepu went to bed early. Yuval Murray is standing about 20 meters away looking up at the night sky. Good timing. I'm sorry to do this without her, but I want to go over our situation. We should discuss what to do about her as well as our strategy going forward. Yes? What are your thoughts on Yuval Murray Senpai? She's lost all her memories except for her name and her objective. She knows only her name and that she is an alien who came to Earth to rule it. She has no memories pertaining to her personal life. She only knows what she learned about Earth prior to coming here. Outside of that, she doesn't know anything about Caldia or the bleached Earth phenomenon or our battle in the storm border on the storm border. Even if even if she is the foreign god, I don't want to treat her like she is our enemy. Over this past 12 hours, she's proven to be very friendly. So if she never recovers her memories, let's not tell her she's the foreign god. At least for now. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I feel kind of bad about it, but I think it's for the best too. You've been saying she's the future ruler of the earth, but I can tell she means she just wants to make things better, not tyrannically rule over humankind. She is very different now that n- now than when she attacked the storm border as the foreign god. I think this is probably the real her. So as long as she doesn't remember she's the foreign god, she should at least stay on our side, right? Then I'm for not telling her on one condition that she should only seek that should be the only secret we keep from her. Real friends don't keep everything to themselves. Of course, now that definitely okay then. Hey you oh. That cat like smile. Okay. What is it? I was just making my president constellation. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you then. I love the idea of making your own constellation. It's nothing special. Even every noble does it when they came to a new celestial body. Anyway, did you have something to tell me? I sure, I sure hope it's worth my while. Hmm, okay, what's that face? She now looks concerned, surprised, nervous, happy. Okay. And now you're all caught up. Servants, master, mages, Caldia, the incineration of humanity, singularities, the bleached earth phenomenon, corruptors, tree of emptiness, proper human history, lost builds. Exactly how many times has Earth faced an ex- existential crisis at this point? Alright, I have much clearer picture of how foolish you humans are now. You guys have been through a lot. Huh? Still, nice job taking back your future, even if it was just the one time. I'm impressed with. It sounds like you have been working hard to mush. The Skaldia organization you belong to doesn't sound half bad either. Preserving humanity's future without anyone ever knowing. What a ful- fulfilling calling. Director, director, what are you talking about? You all say the strangest things sometimes. Are you experience? Are you experiencing some kind of bug? Good story, but rely only. I can really only give it a nine. I can really give it only a 9 out of 10. That's despite it being the most satisfying story I've ever heard. Do you know why I scored it like that? No, I don't. You said the most satisfying story you have ever heard, but it's still only a 9 out of 10. I mean, it's still not enough, right? You and Ved did some impressive work, I'll grant you. But it's still missing a certain finishing touch. Like it's made real well, but there is still a gaping hole right through the middle of it. I think it would be even better if I had someone bright and shiny in it too. I don't know who or what, but oh, now I get it. You want some fulfilling work yourself. I've got it. We lost a point because you weren't in it. Oh, ha! You, oh, you humans! That resort alone was enough to bring you up to a full 10 out of 10. If you are so eager to help, then all right, I'll help you save Earth. What are friends for? All right. Mhm. Nice. Oh, foreign priestess. So she is still observing us. Hmm. Okay. Goodness, I was so happy I didn't realize how late it was. We should really set up our sleeping bags. Tepu said night lasts for about half as long as day here. If my math is right, that means night lasts about 12 hours. So we can sleep full 7 hours, then still head through this cornfield before daybreak. I'll keep night watch. You guys go to sleep and don't worry about anything. Then I'll think I'll do exactly that. Thanks, Marine. Hmm. Who's observing them? A man in priest clothes. This is going to be a problem. What are you doing, Rasputin? Hey. Oh, the second chapter was so long. Talaklu. Post Underworld. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. It took 1.5 hours to complete one section. Okay. So, Tipu, what are these underworld boundaries anyway? The boundaries of the underworld are abnormal religion. They have strong magnetic field whose directions keep Mala's blessing at bay. Well, I say magnetic field distortions, but it's more accurate to call them dimensional distortion. M- Mindless dinos used to wonder them, but after Tezcatlipoca showed up, these underworlds became host to trials which must make completed which must be completed for the dead and to truly die. Okay, a great deal depends on your mental state. The boundaries of the underworld are treacherous places so long as you do not perceive yourself as having overcome their trial. I see. So as long as you can overcome their trials, at least once you'll know how they are. At least you'll know they are no threat to you anymore. But since this will be our first time visiting one, will going we are going to be in for a difficult time. I have to ask the obvious then. Have you completed this trial step? Yes, as far as the third layer of the underworld, fortunately the trial and the first layer are relatively easy. But by the way, Tepu, you said something about enormous iguanas in the first layer of the underworld yesterday. We were those iguanas called Yoki Clonal? by any chance? Oh, you know of them, Mash. Does that mean proper human history has similar underworld then? Yes, in proper human history, Maklan refers to the subterranean underworld of Aztec mythology. According to the myth, the world was divided into the heaven, the surface, and the underworld. The gods said to reside in the 13th heaven, while humans lived on the surface world. The underworld was said to consist of 9 layers, and and collectively this world was known as Maklan. People who died of natural causes rather than in combat would descend through the 9 layers of Maklan. Their goal was to conquer many trials and make their way to the bottom layer. Chin Chiconia Ona Pulau, where they would come to terms with their own life, allowing their soul to return to the natural world. Aztec civilization was marked by human sacrifice, slavery, and endless war, so it was certainly one of the harshest societies in human history. But at least its heart, it retained in inherited respect for nature and gratitude to the gods. That is the larger world. This Maklan may not have ever developed a system of belief based on God, but I think its emphasis on respecting nature means it still shares the same roots. I see. So that is proper human history's version of Maklan. Then I assume it also had Jochilonal. That's right, the first subterranean layer of Maklan was called Itzu Itzkulan and contained an enormous river called Apanohu Akluhia. The dead had to cross the river with the help of the hairless breed of dog called Zolo Itzukulitla in order to make it to the other side without the Zochilonal eating them. What's a dog? These names are so proving to be difficult to pronounce. What's a dog? Oh, it's a kind of animal and a great one. I can't describe them too well, but I can draw you a picture later. Thank you, Marine, but I am kissing. Sorry about that. Let's continue. Thank you, Marine, but I'm guessing they look something like this, am I right? He is an artist as well. Oh, how did you know? Oh wow, you're such a good artist too. Your imagination, no, your powers of observation really are remarkable. You are already a full-blown scholar of proper human history. Oh yes, I want to learn as much about it as I can. Your history is terrifying, but it's also in intensely captivating. Yeah. So, so there is a Maklan in proper human history and Maklan in this lost belt, right? And in proper human history, humans lived on the planet's surface, but you dinos live underground. Why is that? Not You are not all dead or anything, right? I suspect it is because the surface of our world is no longer habitable. A long time ago, a meteorite devastated everything on this surface. We managed to survive by escaping underground from there. Mala created Maklan and we continued to propagate. Now this underground world is our home. We will never return to the surface, especially while it continues to burn. Uh, it's still burning even now. I don't understand. Even if the impact destroyed everything on the surface, it still had millennia to recover, hasn't it? Is this planet just really lazy or something? Oh well, it's probably not important right now. More importantly, I have a question for you, Tipu. Or you guys, if you can answer it. Have you ever heard of Ort? Nope, I don't know anything. Ort. I can't say I've heard the name before. What about the rest of you? As a matter of fact, Ort is one of the reasons we came here. There is a creature that goes by that name in proper human history. We came to this lost belt to try to find it before anyone else, but now, hmm, what's different now? I guess you could say there is no need for us to find it anymore. I guess you could say we have more important things to worry about. Yeah, makes sense. Your first priority now is reaching the storm border, and then you have got to do something about the bleached earth phenomenon, right? I agree. Of course, you wouldn't have time to go looking for some weird random creature then. Besides, now that you have got me, you have all the firepower you need. You mean you are not looking for out yourself, you Olgamari? Why would I be? I just asked because it's one of the few words I remember. Although now that you mention it, I do get a feeling I might have been looking for it myself. Maybe it's not important now either. Why would why worry about the little things? I am only with small creatures and little doubts like this aren't worth pursuing anyway. I see, that's good to hear. That's a relief, but are you sure about this, Madam President? Oh, I can hear running water. We must be near the river. Alright, I'm going to be the first one there. The jungle river ought to be no problem for me. I swear by Triton, I'll get us across easy peasy. And he comes running back. Or is it the Niagara Falls or the waterfalls? This is beautiful. Nice. This is the first boundary of the underworld. Can you really call this a river? Yeah, Niagara Falls is in the North America and we are currently in the South America. So yeah, that was stupid of me. Can you really call this just a river? There is no way I couldn't get us across this even if all 24 of us Marine were here. This is This sure pretty though. It's sure pretty though. And the mist from these ginormous waterfalls feels nice too. Yeah, you don't see places this spectacular even in the land of fairies. I'm impressed. Mesoamerican mythology is on an entirely different scale. It's true, they remind me of the Guiana highlands of South America, known as the last frontier of Earth. I'm also very impressed that you were able to cross this homogeneous, homo, homologous, homologous fall step. You must have superhuman, no, super dino legs strength and exploration skills to have made it past here. Please tell us what route did you use to cross it? Ah, yes, I do think I must have managed it. Tipu? Super Tipu! I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. It's utterly terrifying. Forgive me. This is much, much bigger than the river I crossed. Wait, Mash, is this what you were envisioning? Not at all. I see. Then this change has nothing to do with your mental state. So Caldia's arrival here has changed things in the underworld boundaries, much like the Cryptor's arrival. Perhaps we should proceed on assumption. Still, all that aside. That aside, what is what a truly spectacular sight! I wish my acquaintances could see it. See this. Hmm. Save the celebrations for later. Save the celebration for later. Teppu, Marine Ved, you guys better stand back. Something's coming up the waterfall. Maybe it's those giant iguana things. Mush, you and I will handle the iguanas. Habitat, you guard the non-combatants. Got it? Habitat. Abinan. Understood. Ready when you are, Olga Marie. Nice. After this battle, I think I'll stop because my throat is starting to hurt now. I've been constantly speaking for about almost 2 hours, so yeah. I think it's
少し肩をほぐすだけ。
okay.
お前た
Underworld
ちの
ego.
ためではない。あの辺りね。一歩、一歩、
Okay.
前に。インターセプター。これで。ブー。
Whoa.
ですので。この。
Are these the new voice lines? Oh my god. Whoa. That's cute. Okay. We have 5 of them.
あの辺りね。了解。
Okay.
動かないで。
She's pretty weak considering considering she is a foreign god. Okay, Dalmash.
はあ。
Yep.
当てるわ。当たって。この。はあ。 あの辺りね。
Our extra attack is also AoE, right? So,
動かないで。キラッキラにしてあげる。ウルトラバースト。
Okay. There are those three.
この星を滑るものである。
And
最大ダメージお任せください。了解。どうして装填済みです。はあ。
yep, that crit. Mashu's crit are pretty strong in her automax. Okay, a giant iguana.
言うことがあるでしょ。この星を滑るものである。
60. Okay.
当てるわ。当たって。絶対に逃がさない。
Okay.
この
10k damage.
ちゃんと指導して。
Okay.
もう。じゅわ。動かないで。じゅわ。ウルトラバースト。
Okay.
思考能力が低下したわ。ちょっと下がります。
Okay. Okay. So
時短装填済みです。一歩。了解。
this should do good damage.
これでハイアングルバースパ
Okay, one.
ー。申し訳ありません。一旦
I should have just used her skill. This is the first node. I think I'll be continuing it in some time after I've had my lunch. So yeah.
サポートシステム 40% カット。運動性問題ありません。演説の時演説の時来たわね。あの辺りね。じゅわ。知っているかしら。当てるわ。当たって。
Good.
ウルトラバースト。
Yep, that will not kill them because if the attack modifier was higher on the AoE attacks, it would be broken. So yeah, understandable.
じゃあちゃんと装填して。
20.
ブースト。
Nice.
じゃあ
Something.
は
Okay. Okay.
時短了解。時短一歩前にちゃんと指導して。インターセプターぶっ飛べ。見逃
Should
し
it
て。
kill both of them?
最大ダメージお任せください。言うことがあるでしょ。演説の時来たわね。
Yes.
了解。インターセプター。
Start fight.
ブオースーパーですので、このちゃんともうじゃキラッキラにしてあげる。1兆分の1になる。
Just one shot that I...
言うことがあるでしょ。あのあたりね。ちゃんともうギャラクシーじゃ身の程を知れ。ウルトラバースト。
Next turn, I should be it.
この星を滑るものである。もうあのあたりね。ギャラクシー
GG's.
では当てるわ。当たって。拍手は必要ないわ。私への信頼と尊敬は今後の行動で示しなさい。
Respect and point shot. If we get her, I'll throw her voice lines. Okay, so
日本では鍋の季節らしいですね。
okay, so I'll stop here for now and continue in about an hour, I think. I'll be continuing with this in 1 hour after I've had my lunch. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and see you guys next time.